Good morning, folks. This is Greg Judy at Green Pastures Farm. Well, we got a heck of a rain last night. For you say June 3rd, it was a welcome rain. It's been a little bit. Things were getting dry. The roads were dusty, and we caught 3 inches down the road. There was a guy that got 6 inches. And then just on the other farm, one of our landowners recorded 3.5 inches. So, however you want to say it, we got a nice rain for July. You know, it's hot, it's humid out here. The boys and I are getting ready to fire up chainsaws. And we're gonna go tackle that honey locust savanna again today. We hit it yesterday for probably 3 hours, and I mean the boys flat knocked down some trees. They probably knocked down 200, and we got another 200 to go today. Maybe not 200, probably 100. And we're painting the stumps. These are honey locusts. They range anywhere from 4-inch diameter all the way up to 12-inch. Some of them are 60 feet high. We have a skid steer down there with grapples on it, so we're stacking them in piles. You know, let them dry real good. And some of them have thorns on them 1 foot long. Just hundreds and hundreds of thorns on them, like 1 foot long. And so while they're green, that's when you want to get them stacked. If you cut down a honey locust and let it sit there for a couple weeks or a month and then try and move it, it sheds. It sheds all of its needles, those sharp needles, like a porcupine quills. Now you got a wreck. I mean, you're not going to get rid of those things. And they last forever. It takes forever for them to rot. There's our young man, Isaac and Ike. Joel's on vacation with his family for the week. And it is July, first week of July. And the cattle are enjoying this. This is our area up here where we store the hay. That's all the hay we had left from last year. Not all, that's one pile of it. We're not gonna have to buy as much hay this year. It's all stored on post, so it'll be 2 years old this year when we feed it. But look at these cows. I mean, they are going after it. Even the baby calves. They're going after it. Some of them are going after mama's milk. Yeah, they look good. I mean, we are so fortunate. We drove over to do the bulls this morning and pulled up through Rucker, which is just a little sign in the road now. It used to be a Metropolitan back in the 20s. There's nothing there now but a couple houses. But it absolutely ripped up Rucker, the wind last night. It knocked over probably a 200-year-old white oak tree right in front of a house. Luckily, it didn't go into the house. Our neighbor that borders our farm here where we live, he lost his barn last night. I mean, when I say lost, it collapsed on top of his tractors, all of his equipment. The whole barn just boom, went down. And saw the roof ripped off of several other sheds. We had some heavy wind last night. I'm telling you, we just really, really fortunate. We didn't get hit. I'm sure there's some trees down somewhere, but all we found so far is limbs. We couldn't get to the bulls this morning on a normal route. There was a great big white oak tree busted off across the road. So, you know, it takes a pretty good wind to knock down a white oak tree. Boy, look at that thing right there. My gosh. She's fat. The yearling heifer from last year. There's 2 of them, side by side. The one on the left is just a little fancier than the one on the right. There's another one behind him. That one's nice. Woo. I Probably she might be nicer than 301. Look at that heifer. Which one's better? They're like people. Some are just better looking animals than others, and the same way with cows. Are a lot like people in that respect. I mean, they are churning and burning. They're liking this grass. It's tender. The boys came back within, I think we were here about 40 days ago. And we've got enough animals, folks. They're putting them in tight enough. We're right here, they're stocked at probably 300,000 to 400,000 pounds per acre. They're on just a very small area here, but they're nailing it. 45, you just decided to lay down and rest a bit. You must have just had breakfast. Good looking calf. This is the most uniform calf crop we've ever had. They all came within about 3 weeks of each other, and there was 90 born in 20 days, and then the other 10, we had 100 of them. Those are just the spring calvers, and we've got quite a few fall calvers and the heifers. The heifers are being exposed to a bull right now. And we put 5 bulls in here on July 1st. So, I tell you what, that short calving season, it's a keeper. Dang. Makes it so easy to do the cattle drive because all your calves are the same age. We don't do a cattle drive until they're like 3 weeks old. Man, they can travel. They can travel up and down these roads. You go a mile, that's nothing for a calf. Not a 3-week-old calf. Now, a newborn calf, you go a mile and a half, they might get tired and lay down. And the problem with them laying down on the cattle drive is you may not see where they laid down at. Now you spend all day, the cow's bawling for it. You got to go back and forth along your cattle drive. If it's on a public road, that's not good, because it could be laying off in a ditch. So we don't do cattle drives anymore with new calves. We just make sure they're 2 to 3 weeks old, and then we go. Oh, that's a nice little calf. She lost her tags. That's the one Isaac was talking about. He knows the tag number. We'll get the tags put back in her. That's our handling facility. Up there at the end. I'll walk up and show that to you. Some people ask how we handle the cows. We don't get them in the crowd very often. I mean, and when we do, it's either to put tags in the ear. Occasionally you'll have a first calf heifer. Or if there's a cow, this calf that has the feet turned back on a calf, you can't get it out. You got to get her up in the corral. You can't just walk out there and do it in the pasture. You got to have a way to hold them. And then, of course, banding the bulls. The bull calves get banded. And then the other time would be if, of course, we're loading and selling stuff. You got to be able to do that. This is where we have our bull days at. It works out real good. There's about a half-acre trap right there. We put them all in. And then we have the guys, the customers, ladies too, back up to this corral right here. And we load them. We got a head catch here. And when we leased this farm in 2001, the previous landowner used to cut silage. All these bottoms on this farm were plowed. And he put corn in it. And he would chop that corn with a silage chopper. And this was his silage pit right here. So I thought, when I lease this, what am I going to do with this? Well, this is what I did with it. I put a handling facility in here. And you're looking at these panels and such. This is overkill. You don't need something fancy like this. Or is this stout, you might say. There's a little rabbit. See? We've got groundhogs on each side. There's a groundhog living on that side, and there's one over there on that side. But I'll show you everything. This has all got a concrete floor underneath it, so even if it rains, we're still not walking around in mud. And we just put the head catch right here on the concrete. When we put this in here, that tree was about as big around as my leg. And now it's probably 3 foot diameter. That's a honey locust. And there's another one over there. It throws a lot of good shade here, so when you're working, you're not completely in the heat. What is that? Yeah, there's a tree growing out of the concrete right there. Anyway, this is where we do our work. We're able to handle the animals safely. They can't get hurt and we can't get hurt. I do think a squeeze chute like this is pretty nice, but you don't need all these fancy pins. You can get by with cattle panels mounted to 2x6s on treated wood posts. That's a lot cheaper than these panels. One of these panels right here, just that piece right there, up and over and down, that's a 16-footer. And that one panel right there today, I don't know what it would cost. When I put these in, they were about $300. Heck, they're probably $6 today. So you can buy a lot of cattle panels and 2x8s, and you just mount the 2x8s on the treated post, and you want to put your treated post on 8-foot centers. And put your 2x6s. I like to use a 2x8 myself. It's just a little stouter. And then put your cattle panel right on top of those 2x8s. And it makes a nice corral. You all probably saw the video where we did one like that over on Judy Farm. But this was here. I didn't have any use for it. I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna do this. And we were running some really, really rank cattle when we put this in. We were custom grazing other cattle, and these were cattle that would try and kill you. They would. They'd try and run you down and kill you. And kick. Oh, they kicked. I got kicked twice one year, and it hurt. It hurt really, 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 really bad. And once you get kicked, you don't want any more of that. I'm missing one of my chains. But we always keep 2 chains here. I don't know where it went. It could have fallen back here. Nope. It's nice to have 2 chains, because when you back your trailer up, you can put a chain around your tailgate or your gate, and put one around here on your trailer. There's no way they're getting out. It's probably around here somewhere. But yeah, it's nice to have rain. It's hot, it's humid, but we're growing a lot of grass. The cows are getting fat. The calves look good. I think I've had one calf that I saw it had a little bit of pink eye in one eye, and that's it. Cows are all sleep. Look at that. There's just no flies on these cows. And there's flies. I mean, there are flies everywhere. They're on the bulls. I was over there this morning. The bulls have got flies on them. But these cows eating this really, really high bricks, vegetative, tender grass, they just got a better immune system, you know. They're telling the flies to stay away. But with that, I'm going to go ahead and get out of here, and we'll see you all next time. I'll be seeing some of y'all here next week at the PowerFlex retail store opening there in Seymour. It's July 12th and 13th. I'll be down there speaking, and they're giving a 20% discount on all products in the store if you walk into the store. You can't do that. You can't get that discount online. But you can get the 20%, and they're going to have free gifts and food, and it's going to be a good time. We'll see you all there on the 12th and the 13th, some of you. And everyone have a great day.